Hello everyone, Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. I know I missed a week. We're gonna go over 2 weeks worth. It'll be fun. Be fun, yes. First, we're gonna do up a new number one called Godzilla: Skate or Die. IDW's been putting out so many Godzillas, written and drawn by Louis Joyce. Apparently, there's a monster in Australia. It's headed for the skateboarder's favorite place to go, and the only one that can stop the monster is Godzilla, and the skateboarders don't want to lose their park. Artwork's gorgeous. Here, let's put that a little closer, see if you can see that. Can you see that? I can't tell from here. So, yes. This is interesting. Skateboarders versus Godzilla. Speaking of Godzilla, we have the Best of Space Godzilla. It's all reprints. Most of these are. It's Godzilla: The Half-Century War, number 4. Story, art, and letters by James Stokoe. Godzilla's History's Greatest Monster, number 12, written by Dwayne Swierczynski. Art by Simon Gain. Godzilla in Hell, number 3, written by Ulysses Farinas and Eric Freitas. Art by Buster Moody. That's a great name, Buster Moody. I love that. Godzilla Rulers of the Earth, number 17. Godzilla Rulers of the Earth, of course, being the best Godzilla series ever. Written by Chris Mowry, art by Jeff Zorno and Matt Frank. So it's a way to collect up all these. Yes, I'm fully aware I already have all of these, but it's kind of nice to see how they put this together for me. So I like that. Here, let's see. This was an interesting thing. Giant-sized Daredevil. We know Kingpin is back. It's just called Giant Size. They're doing a thing. And it's a story. It's The Devil You Know by Saladin Ahmed, who wrote it. And then the artist is Paul Davidson. And it's Kingpin going after Daredevil. And the artwork is weird. I don't know that I don't want to say weird. It's interesting. It's interesting. I can't really. I hope that shows up for you guys. And it made it feel like there's a distinct feel of old school 90s kind of thing. Then there is also a Kingpin Must Die starring Daredevil. Originally from Daredevil 170, where Frank Miller was the writer and penciler, and Klaus Hansen is the inker. So yeah, this was kind of fun. Reminded me of the good old days. Of course, a giant-sized Daredevil back in the day would have cost 50 cents, not $6.99. But what are you gonna do? All right. Miles Morales Spider-Man, unfortunately, part of the Blood Hunt. This is number 21. Writer is Cody Ziglar. Artists are Brent Peoples and Daniel Picciotto. And it's what you think. Miles got bit. Miles got ears like a vampire. The Blood Hunt thing is literally the worst thing I've seen. DC already did DC versus Vampires years ago, so this makes it sound like they're jumping on the wagon, and I'm not buying everything for this crossover, so we'll miss stuff. Issue 12 of Green Lantern. Hey, look, it's Star Sapphire. This is a very nice cover. I like this cover. I'll hold it up a little bit. There we go. There we go. And let me get you the people in charge. Here we are. Writer is Jeremy Adams. Artist and cover artist is Zermanico. Zermanico does a really great job. They're still fighting with other lantern beings, I guess is the way to put it. And Hal and his ring don't like that. And Star Sapphire comes to save Hal, which is awesome. We love that. I think he needs to go back. He went back to Earth in this, so I'm kind of hoping he'll stay. I was liking the whole Earthbound stuff. I didn't really want to see superheroes and supposed superheroes fighting one another, and not real happy to see Amanda Waller either. So, what are you going to do, right? And the backup story, House of Brainiac. Oh no, that's not what the name of it is. What is it called? It has a name. It's with Guy Gardner and Lobo. There we are. Guy's Bogus Lobo Adventure. Writer Jeremy Adams. Artist Kevin McGuire. It's fun. This is also a lot of fun. That whole back in the day vibe. The 80s, I would say, more than anything else. So, good time. McGuire's Art's always appreciated. Solid book. Alright, Blue Beetle number 10. Ba-ba. Yeah. So, Ted Kord's sister built a giant monster that's indestructible. And Josh Trujillo is our writer. Adrian Gutierrez is our artist. And so now there's this giant monster, and Blue Beetle has to fight the monster. Well, robot. But it's got an interesting twist at the end. I did appreciate that. Always good to see Ted back in action. Liking that for Blue Beetle. I think she should just stick around. So, yep. I'm starting to like this book. If you remember correctly, I didn't like this book. But we were getting it anyway. So that was last week's books. This week, we have John Constantine, Hellblazer in America, number 6. Look, I remembered all by myself this time that it's in the back. Aren't you proud of me? He says as he can't find it. There we go. Simon Spurrier is the writer. Aaron Campbell is the artist. This time around, it felt very Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison. So, because there's this crazy comic book writer who can affect the panels in the book. They make a fourth wall breaking joke, but he can literally like grab through the white space and stuff like that. So interesting, but I don't know. We'll see. It'll wrap up and I'll like it. That's usually how that works for me. Alright, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange number 16. When last we left Doctor Strange, he was a vampire. This is Jed MacKay is our writer. Pascal Ferry is our artist. Victor is still a vampire ghost. Strange is in his astral form, so his physical form is being babysitted by Wong, and it is a raging vampire monster. So Wong has to fight a vampire, which is kind of fun to watch. And yeah, I don't know how they're going to fix this. So we'll see. It says to be concluded. I hope that means this story arc is to be concluded and they don't cancel Doctor Strange again. That'd be nice. Oh, we're going to save that one for last. Alright, let's see. Captain America number 10. It's a weird cover, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah? I thought so too. It looks like they picked a piece of artwork out of a bin of back order stuff. It doesn't really have anything to do with the story. Writer is J. Michael Straczynski. Artist is Jesus Sayas. Steve Rogers has been going and looking for mutants. And there's one in England he has to get. And she has an interesting power. She can affect... she's sensitive to energy frequencies and electronics, and so she can see everything that's going on in the world at once and not go crazy. She showed it to Steve. Steve took 2 seconds before he let go of her hand. The interesting thing that I like about this is she has a trick where she makes your brain reboot, and it gives you 8 seconds. So when a bunch of guys come to kill Steve Rogers, she takes the 8 seconds and reboots everybody's brain so he can get out. So it's interesting. Like I said before about this book, it's really Vertigo Captain America, but that's fine. Cover's still weird though. Don't know what the cover's up to. Alright, one of my favorite books. I wish they would just make this a regular instead of story arcs, but I am not in charge. This is Gun Honey Collision Course number 2. Our writer, as always, is Charles Ardai, and our artist is Ang Horkit. King. And she went to try and save somebody, and that didn't go well at all. So, but she does get out of it. There's a sneaky little backdoor thing because she's very good at getting out of situations. But they have to find out why all of this is going on, and since we're in issue 2, they don't give you a lot. They make you wait. Artwork is always as gorgeous. Wonderful, wonderful book. If you're shy about nudity, don't buy this book because she spends a lot of time not wearing any clothes. A lot of time not wearing any clothes. So that's Gun Honey. Yes, that's a fine book. Alright, what do we got next? Hercules number 3. Oh, I remember. I have to complain. Hold on. Let's get to our Elliot Kalan, our writer. Shame on you, Elliot. You'll find out why in a minute. George Cambadas is our artist. And Hercules goes to Athena for help. I do like her line where, what does she say? That she's the goddess of wisdom, not the goddess of accommodating your feelings. I like that they explain that with how goddesses work. It's like, this is the thing I was given. I don't do those other things. That's just how it works. So they have to go help Artemis. And they get attacked. Artemis, by the way, very nice design for Artemis. That would have been cool to have her in the original movie. That would have been awesome. So, anyways, the thing that they're fighting are harpies. And Hercules says, harpies? And has to have harpies explained to him. Even though in the big fight montage, Herc is a hero, where he's getting all the monsters, he fought a harpy. It looks exactly like the harpy in this. So, shame on you for not doing the base homework of watching the film. So, Elliot, shame on you. I can't really blame George. Artist, he's not, unless it's a collaborative effort, artists are usually like, okay, la 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 la. So, although, George, did neither of you watch the movie? Because this is a flaw. Shame on you. Alright, still a good book. Alright, Sensational She-Hulk number 9. We've just been informed that the next issue is the last issue. They're canceling the She-Hulk book again. Rainbow Rowell is our writer. Andreas Genole is our artist. And Jen and Jack are back from the sun. Having a party. Unfortunately, they left Ransack and Carcass in charge of the apartment. And it has been ransacked. Maybe that's how they call it, ransack, I don't know. So, they have to clean it up. Jen wants to blow off a little steam. So she calls Titania and Volcana, because it's part of their punch club, they call it. And, yep. And then Carol Danvers shows up to offer her a job at the Avengers with a new outfit and everything. So, yeah, one more issue. That's all we get. And Jack told Jen that he loved her. He said, I love you, She-Hulk. At the very end. She was sleeping, though, so she didn't hear it. Can't believe they're canceling another book. Spider-Woman, number 8. Alright. Steve Fox is our writer. Ig Guara is our artist. I know, I'm butchering these, but I'm sorry. The artwork's great, Ig, if that makes any difference for you. So there's these new kids, the Assembly, who are like one-offs of Captain America and Moon Knight and stuff like that, the Hulk and whatnot. And she's trying to do some investigative work because it's like they came out of nowhere. And then the bad guys are actually a development company, and they're trying to take over this one spot. They show up just ready to shoot everybody. The group is called Echidna. And Angar the Screamer. There's a blast from the past. And they were going to, they don't realize that she's trying to talk everything down, and the Assembly shows up and they're treating him like a villain. Angar messes up the Captain America Wasp clone or whatever she's supposed to be by screaming at her, and it shows her stuff that she didn't know. Then we get our reveal of who the big bad is, and I'm like, oh, really? Really? I won't tell you. You can find out yourself. Tell you what, next issue when it comes up, I'll tell you then. So you can wait. Amazing Spider-Man number 52. It's a classic cover that's kind of been morphed into the current storyline that I'm not fond of. So let's see. Zeb Wells is our writer, Ed McGuinness, and... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Ed McGuinness and Todd Nauck are our pencilers. Mark Farmer, Wade Van Grawbadger, and Todd Nauck are our inkers, which makes me think that they're pushing the book too hard. You got 2 pencilers and 3 inkers on a regular-sized comic book. That's a lot. I do like and appreciate, though, things like that. So, I do not, however, appreciate turning Peter Parker into Green Goblin. And Norman's up to some stuff. As anyone can figure out, Chasm is trying to save the day. Ms. Marvel shows up, which is always a good time. The Living Brain, Kurt Connors and J. Jonah Jameson are teaming up with Ms. Marvel. Chasm gets his butt beat on a regular basis, of course. And Wreck Rap showed up, so I was pretty happy about seeing Wreck Rap. But the entire thing just feels like they've run out of ideas and are sloppy. That happens a lot with writers, though. They also said that they're not going to be doing the book for very much longer. I hope they keep the numbering and don't say, a new number 1! Because legacy-wise, this is issue 946 of The Amazing Spider-Man. If they cancel it and I take a look at the first issue of the new one, it'd be a good jumping off point. You know, they always have that jumping on point. This would be a jumping off point. So, this is the one I saved for last because I like it. It also has a problem, but it's pretty minor, so I won't complain too much, but I'm still going to complain. Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime! When you were a little kid, way back in the day, you read Carl Barks's Uncle Scrooge because it was awesome. Here we go. Art. There are 3 chapters and an epilogue. So, written by Jason Aaron. Chapter 1 are Paolo Matura. Chapter 2, Francesca Diapilato did the pencils, and Lucio De Giuseppe did the inks on Chapter 2. Chapter 3, Alessandro Pastrovicio and Vitale Mangiatore did the art on Chapter 3. And Giada Persinato did the art on the epilogue. Then, of course, they were so nice to give us the original Christmas on Bear Mountain with script and art by Carl Barks. And Jason Aaron even gives us a thing about why he loves this duck. It explains in the Christmas on Bear Mountain, what if Donald and the boys didn't make it up to the cabin? And then the multiverse opens up. And we have so many Uncle Scrooges. So many. And there's the Bane evil one. He's like the Scrooge above all because he's... Donald never showed up. So when Donald didn't show up, there you go. He became a bitter old man and ruined everything. He had his dime, but then he realized that when he found the multiverse, took a minute, that there's more than one Infinity Dime. So there you go. Now he wants all of the Infinity Dimes. Or, well, yeah, it just used to be called his Lucky Dime, but the boys, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, say call it the Infinity Dime. And I'm like, it sounds like Infinity Stones, but I'll get over it. The thing that bothered me, let me give you the thing that bothered me. When Scrooge is talking about his lucky dime, the dime he earned shining shoes in Glasgow. No, Glasgow does not have a dime. I even checked. No dime. They have many, many coins. Not a single one of them is called a dime. He never would have got a dime shining shoes in Glasgow. I know you could be like, well, what if it was a tourist? you're stretching. I think you messed up. And I'm going to give a spoiler because it made me laugh so hard that I had to put the book down. So if you don't want to hear the spoiler, then you have now to stop listening. But they mentioned bringing in the Berserker horde. And all riled up, raring to go. Had them working on their cars right before all of this started, before they were summoned. So they've been bonking themselves with wrenches for hours now. And it's every Donald Duck. Every Donald Duck super angry. I thought that was amazing. So this is a really good book. Ending's a little sappy, but we love a happy sappy ending in a Uncle Scrooge comic book. And like I mentioned before, they do reprint Christmas on Bear Mountain. Carl Barks' stuff is still amazing. Christmas on Bear Mountain, yeah, amazing to look at. You get, this is the one, Donald Duck's comic book. You're up to issue 178 by then for just Donald Duck comic books, and they introduce Uncle Scrooge, and he's gonna try to put Donald to the test to make sure he's a brave man, and it's just gorgeous to look at. So, yep. If you don't get any other comic book this month, you need to get this comic book. There's plenty of them. Price wise, $7.99, but it's huge. It's a big comic book, and the reprint of Carl Barks is worth the effort right there. So there you go. All right. Well, I'm sorry I missed last week. I don't know why I missed last week. I feel like we were doing something. So there's 2 weeks worth of comic book. That's a number of comic books. Yeah, that's all I got. As always, I tell you to go someplace to find comic books to read. Go to the library. Go to the comic book store. See if they have a 50-cent bin or a 25-cent bin. I wish we had a 25-cent bin. We have a 50-cent bin now, which is no fun for me. It reminds me of the old days when comic book prices would go up, and you'd be like, how many comic books can I get for $1? Oh, they're a quarter. I can get 4. Oh, they're 30 cents. Oh, that's 3 comic books and some change. Then, 35 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. All of a sudden, your dollar's not going as well as you'd like it to go. 60 cents. I remember 60 cents, 75 cents. You're still getting a comic book. And then it went beyond that dollar, and you're like, oh. So, and now they're what, $3.99? I think they're all $3.99 unless they're a special edition of some sort. Then they get up there in price, $7.99. That's why if you live in the Kalamazoo area, Fanfare has a club you can belong to for $5 a year. You get 20% off of all new books. And so that's not a bad deal, actually. I would check with your local comic book store to see if they have a club as well. You never know. So until next time, I'll see you, and go read a comic book.